Hey, I've been cooking on this build for a while now. I think this version of the build is ready to share. So, first of all, before I talk about the build, I will talk about some interactions with Snipe and Barrage. So I think most people misunderstood those. Barrage makes your next ability repeat, and we are using Snipe with this. And Snipe is guaranteed to critical hit if you release it at the correct time. So um, so with Barrage, Snipe hits more than once to a target, but the main thing here is Snipe with Barrage, those repeats, they all hit consecutively. So when I press Barrage, I get 2 repeats, so I will have 3 Snipe. I will firing 3 Snipes now, and they will all hit consecutively to the target. So that is the main mechanic that I'm using. So now I will talk about the gems. Um, So as our first skill, we have Spiral Volley. Spiral Volley, we are using this one in maps in clear. Um, so this setup is, I think, pretty standard, I would say. So we have Pin to grant us frenzy charges with combat frenzy. So we have Lockdown to grant us extra pin build-up. We have Martial Tempo for attack speed. We have Heft for a bit of extra damage. So, and then we have Cold Infusion to add extra cold damage, which is important for us. Uh, we are using a unique ring, and with this ring, we can shatter chilled enemies as if they are frozen. So we shatter enemies with extra cold damage here, and Herald of Ice basically blasts the pack, blasts the packs. So this is uh, very standard setup for Herald of Ice. More area of effect, more weapon elemental damage, and long shot is really good. And we have cold penetration because yeah. Also, you don't need 5 links for this. You don't actually need 3 links. If you have 3 links, I would suggest you go like this. If you have 4 links, you can go like this. So now I'll talk about the Snipe setup. So in Snipe, we are using window of opportunity, super critical, concentrated effect, lightning infusion, and this is the important one of the most important ones, and splinter. This is also an important one. So when you see other people's Snipe builds, you will not see lightning infusion or splinter on their Snipes probably. You might see lightning infusion maybe, but you definitely not going to see splinter on their Snipe. So how this so this these two gems are basically they are derived from the idea that Snipe and Barrage interaction, they happening consecutive shot, happening as consecutive shots. So what happens is once you fire, let's say like 10 repeated snipes, okay, you have total of 10 hits to the target with the snipe, let's say with the barrage. So in that case, your first 1 or 2 hit is going to be doing, they all going to be doing lightning damage, and your first or second hit, generally first hit does this, shock will shock the target, and also your first and like some first and second hit, your target is going to be um, a broken armored target with this splinter. So that is these two gems making your snipe is a whole package of shocking a target, breaking the target's armor, and then dealing the damage with the remaining hits. So basically, this is the main idea behind this build. So the other skills doesn't really matter. Rain of Earth, I don't actually use this. Like sometimes, this is a very utility spell. I have Mana Leech on this. I have Culling Strike. I have extra crit chance to generate me frenzy charges with Sniper's Mark. I generally cast Rain of Arrows with no charges and then click Sniper's Mark to the targets and Rain of Arrows. Once this crits the target, we get extra charges, so I'm using this for that. So I'm using 2 marks. As I said, like shocking is really important, and shocks gives you a lot of damage, and that's why I'm using Voltaic mark in addition to Sniper's mark. Voltaic mark basically gives you more chance to shock and increases your shock effect on the mark target. And as our auras, we are using Combat Frenzy and Wind Dancer. So for the barrage, I am using Premeditation, pretty simple, pretty basic. I'm using Ingenuity, and this is pretty basic too. And I am also using Perpetual Charge. So as our gear, we are using Weapon Swap Tech, and we are using the first weapon for basically map clearing, and our second weapon for bossing. So we are using like the high evasion chest, pretty basic, like all of the ranger builds out there. So we are using high energy shield helmet because we are playing this node right here. This gives 2 evasion rating per 1 maximum energy shield on equipped helmet. So I have 300 energy shield, 301 energy shield here. So I'm gaining 602 evasion from that helmet as well. So that is the helmet. As I said, we are using this unique ring. Your other ring doesn't really matter. You just get your resists from your ring, gloves and shoes. These are actually doesn't matter. And as our bow setups, in the first bow, which we are using our Spiral Volley, you can go for high attack speed and high phase DPS bow, and nothing else. You don't need anything else from here. And as our quiver, we can go for, as I said, like high damage quiver, like very basic. You can just see the stats right here. This is pretty basic, nothing special. And our second setup is a bit more special. So you can go for a high phase, but one of the most important things here is you have to go for high crit damage bonus. So on your quiver, we are going for high DPS quiver with a high crit damage bonus on it, and crit damage bonus on this one is really important because you can magnify the effects of your quiver from your skill tree and from your jewels, but I don't have that kind of a jewel. And for your amulet, you can get crit damage bonus from your amulet too. Extra level of projectiles. It's not that important, but you can get something like this. And also you can get extra crit damage bonus from your gloves, but I don't have those on my gloves. So this is all about the gear, I think. So let me just talk about the skill tree, and first of all, we can talk about the ascendancies. So these are pretty standard, and yeah, we only changed. So point blank, I've seen some people don't play point blank, but point blank is really good because so we are generally the idea here is we can guarantee this 20% more hit damage with snipe. We can guarantee this. You can just stay close to the target, and yeah, 3.5 meters is not that close. You can just stay in the 3.5 meters long distance, and you can get 20% more hit damage with snipe. So this is really strong. And the second one is cold shots. We are using this instead of using this gathering winds. But so yeah, these are the ascendancies that I'm using. So for the skill tree, we are going from this evasion route here, and we are getting these frenzy charge nodes, and we are doing some weapon swap tech, as I've said before. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to invest in all the nodes which give me shock magnitude with my second weapon, with my weapon swap, with my second weapon. Okay, the green ones here that you see are indicating that I'm using these with my second weapon. When I say second weapon, I'm using the snipe with my second weapon. Okay. And also we are going for this enemies you marked have reduced accuracy rating. This also actually helps a lot with the not getting hit part of this build. That's pretty good. What else here? So we basically get this increased crit damage bonus nodes right here too, and extra shock nodes, as I've said here. This one, and also this is a good one if you're shooting from the 2 meters long distance, and we are shooting from the 2 meters in many cases. So for our first weapon, it actually doesn't matter that much. You can just get damage nodes. So this gives me extra chance to blind. It's good, and this also an extra damage. Good. This. So where's the other one? Yeah, here. So I'm using an extra accuracy nodes here from with the first weapon, and this basically gives me more attack speed per accuracy. And I'm also going for these accuracy nodes here and get more projectile damage on my first weapon. And this basically summed. You can check out my skill tree from the Mobalytics guide too. And this might change. Or might not change. Also, we are using these 2 nodes here. Yeah, this might change or might not change. Yeah. So as my anointment, I'm using Thundering. This gives me more crit damage bonus for attack damage, and also gives me more crit damage base bonus against stunned enemies. So once you just cast your Snipe against like map bosses or stuff, you are generally stunning the boss with some first or second shot, and this is gonna increase your base and gives you a lot of damage. And I think that is all about this build. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you guys around. Bye bye.